going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. We're back for some player props and spreads and over-unders for Thursday, April 8th. Man, yesterday a recap, 3-4, and I vowed to be better, but there's really not much you can do in some of those games. One, we had Zion and Kyrie Irving, didn't even have a chance because of the blowout. That seems to be a constant bad beat this year. And then Terry Rozier doesn't show up to play, not surprised by that. And then RJ Barrett goes absolutely bonkers with points. Only has 1 rebound in the first half, manages to get to 5, but we had over 5.5. Not much you can do. We'll take 3-4. We were 9-4 earlier on the past 2 days to start this week. Fine, we'll give back a little bit today. But today we got a good slate. I want to say thank you guys again for all the support. We do our not only NBA videos, but also MLB. And MLB killed it yesterday. We were 4-1 in the Major League Baseball. So go check that video out after this one. As well as we posted our second installment of our betting tips and tricks video, how to make a winning parlay. I thought it was a really good video, put a lot of work into it. So check that out if you haven't already. It should be linked at the end of the video, as well as in the description down below. Speaking of in the description down below, Discord, our Discord link, as always, will be down there. Over 920 members at the moment. If you want to join it, click that first link down below. You can catch me down there talking to a lot of people, so check it out. And last but not least, click that like and subscribe button. We can't do it without you guys' support. Almost at 2,600 subscribers. Might even be at that by the time you see this. But for the people that do not know, I will be going to Las Vegas in about a week, maybe about 8 to 10 days. And at Vegas, I am placing a parlay that cashes out for whatever amount of subscribers I have. So for, let's say I walked into the casino today, see we got almost 2,600 subscribers. I'd place a parlay that the payout's 2,600. If it cashes, I'm giving one random subscriber 20% of those winnings. That'd be $520 to one of you. So if you want to join, click that subscribe button and you can make that payout go up and up. Can't do it without you guys' support. Thank you guys again. Let's get into these picks. And if you look at the NBA slate, it's a weird one. And trust me, I make these videos around, do all the research at 5, 6 a.m. So there's a lot of teams with injuries. You got the Mavs, who might be without Kristaps Porzingis. You got the Bucks, might be probably without Giannis. A lot of weird games. But I got a good slate going today. And we're starting with a player that we've double dipped. We're back for more. Bam Adebayo, over 4.5 assists. Sure, it's juiced up. It's minus 150. But I don't care. Bam Adebayo has been about as consistent as they come. We picked his over and assists a couple nights ago. The buddy not only hit 5 assists, he hit a triple-double, 10 assists. You love to see that. And like we talked about in the other video, I believe, maybe on Tuesday, Bam Adebayo has had 5+ assists in 18 of his past 23 games. Sure, we picked him a couple nights ago against the Grizzlies, turned in 10 assists, and sure, it's heavily juiced, but a win is a win, and I think we have a good edge here. Earlier in the season, when these two teams played, the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers, Bam had 6 assists in that game, and we've seen centers like Karl Anthony Towns hit 7 assists, and people like that, people that actually run their offense for their teams in terms of opposing centers. I think Bam Adebayo over 4.5 assists, lock it in. You'll probably see it in the parlay of the day as well. We're taking this over until they make it 5.5. I won't lie to you. We're going to continue to take it. Speaking of someone we're going to continue to take, Darius Garland of the Cleveland Cavaliers, taking over 5.5 assists. Right now sitting at minus 102. And similar to the first play, we're going back to the well. Garland has treated us very nicely over the past. We picked his under a couple nights ago. He cashed that, and then he came out and dropped 37 points. But we didn't have his under that night, although it seemed like it. For starters, Garland has hit this over in 3 straight games, 7+ assists in 3 straight. And the main reason we are here is because of the matchup. You ever heard of the Oklahoma City Thunder? They stink. And over the last 15 games, they're giving up over 9.6 assists per game, which is the 4th most in the NBA. Garland had 8 assists on them earlier this year and 7 and 6 assists on them last year in his rookie campaign. I'll play this line at 5.5, and given the value, I don't think it's going up from there. 5.5, great value. One of my favorite plays of the day. Darius Garland of the Cleveland Cavaliers, over 5.5 assists, no doubt about it. Now, we got one more pick, and this one's a sketchy one, and I don't blame you if you want to stay far away from this one. We're taking Brook Lopez, over 5.5 rebounds. There's very, 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 very many games that Brook Lopez comes out and just says, yeah, not really feeling like getting some rebounds today. He'll just put up 2 to 3 rebounds. But like I said, play at your own risk. Lopez isn't known for being a huge rebounder, maybe back in his Brooklyn Nets days, not with the Bucks. But like I said, Giannis Antetokounmpo should be out tonight. And in Brook Lopez's last 6 games against the Dallas Mavericks, he's hit this line in 5 of those 6 games, including 11 rebounds earlier this season. I know it's tough to rally behind, but we're taking Brook Lopez over 4.5 rebounds. Deal with it. It's worth noting that Kristaps Porzingis should be out tonight. They're on a back-to-back. So Boban Marjanovic should be starting, and that bodes very well for Brook Lopez. That means he doesn't really have to go outside of the paint to guard Kristaps or Maxi Kleber. He can just camp out in the paint, guard Boban, and just do his best, box him out, get some rebounds. We're taking Brook Lopez over 5.5 rebounds. Deal with it. Other player props that I will consider but don't really have lines for. Mason Plumlee, his over in rebounds. I don't know what it will be. Maybe 10.5 is something I'm comfortable betting for him. But it's hard to pass up a matchup against the Kings, who give up the most rebounds per game to opposing centers. Sure, Plumlee only had 9 rebounds in their first matchup earlier this year, but he was in foul trouble the whole game, so I'm not going to chalk that up really to him. I guess he fouled the player, so I'd consider him. I'm not sure if I'll play him. I guess I'll decide later in the day once I see the line. And then there's another one, Kyle Kuzma over 5.5 rebounds. Do what you want with it. But you have to think to yourself, do I want to lose money on Kyle Kuzma? And that's not a decision I want to make at 6:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll have a decision to make later on in the day. But Kyle Kuzma has hit this over in 7 of 9 games. And I don't hate the matchup against the Heat. It is a little juiced at minus 140 odds to over. So we don't have much of an edge here. Don't know if I'll do it, but it is something to consider. Now moving on to some spreads that I definitely will be playing. We're talking the Bulls, minus 3.5 versus the Toronto Raptors. The Bulls treated us very nicely a couple nights ago when they played against the Buns Pacers. Pacers were down a lot of players, and they looked absolutely terrible. But that's why we're back. We're back for some more against the Raptors. And you can't really tell much of a difference between that Pacers team banged up versus this Raptors team. This Raptors team will and should be without Kyle Lowry again and without Fred VanVleet. So then you're talking Siakam, Anunoby. You got Gary Trent Jr., DeAndre Bembry, Chris Boucher, and the whole cast and characters of the Toronto Raptors. The Bulls have been playing pretty well. They surprised us all with a big victory against the Brooklyn Nets, on Sunday? They won outright, even though they were underdogs. I believe they were 3-point underdogs. Then they did the same thing against the Pacers, and now they're favorites against the Raptors. I'm taking the Bulls. I say they win and cover pretty easily. Raptors are not very good, especially not without those VanVleet and Lowry, who are both projected to miss the game tonight. Moving on to another team total under. We're taking the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're taking the under. Team total under 104.5 points. I considered the under in this game against the Cavaliers. It smells like a 95-91 game. But we're just going to rely on the Thunder, dude. The Thunder, I bet you walked up to a random person on the street and you said, how many players can you name on the Oklahoma City Thunder that are playing today? I guarantee you they will not be able to name you a single player. At least 9 out of 10 people, and I don't blame them. The most well-known person, maybe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, maybe Lou Dort, maybe Al Horford if they keep up with it. All of those guys are out today. You got a bunch of scrubs. You got the Theo Maledons, the Alexis Poca of the world, Shavim Mikhailuk, all of those scrubs. I'm taking the Oklahoma City Thunder, team under 104.5 points. They haven't hit this over in 3 of their past 4 games. And to spare everyone the time, you can look at the majority at the Oklahoma City Thunder people that are out. I'm not going to list them. I basically already did. Cavaliers games are usually slow-paced, less scoring. And you know what? I'm picking the under. I don't care. Thunder are bad. We're taking the under on the Oklahoma City Thunder under 104.5 points. You could think maybe I'll pick the Cavs to win, but the Cavs are not much better. I'm just taking the under in what should be a pillow fight between both of these games. Parlay of the day. This is why you come here. We're taking all 3 player props, combine them all together. Bam Adebayo over 4.5 assists. Darius Garland over 5.5 assists. And Brook Lopez over 5.5 rebounds. Probably getting pretty decent value, plus 400, plus 500. Love that parlay. I think all 3 player props we got today are pretty good. If you can't plug and play those player props, parlay them, you chuck in your favorite plays of the day. Like I always say, do your research, be confident in what you're betting on. But like I said, to recap the plays of today, and if you miss anything, feel free to check out our website, callingourshot.com. You can check that out. I recap every pick in there, not only for NBA, but also for MLB. So you can see all of that in one article. Bam Adebayo, over 4.5 assists. Darius Garland of the Cavs, over 5.5 assists. Brook Lopez, over 5.5 rebounds. Then we got Bulls minus 3.5 versus the Raptors. And then the Thunder team total under 104.5 points. Those are my 5 plays of the day. Maybe I'll add on Plumlee. Maybe I'll add on Kuzma. That's if I'm feeling risky later on in the day. Parlay of the day, Bam Adebayo over 4.5 assists. Darius Garland over 5.5 assists. And Brook Lopez over 5.5 rebounds. That is your parlay of the day. Let's cash it. Thank you guys all for the support. If you want to see that betting tips and tricks video, it should be right here. I think I should be able to link it right around here. Check that out. Really appreciate all the support. That video debuted with a lot of views, a lot of likes. Really appreciate it. We can't grow this community without you guys. Thank you guys again so much. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for some NBA and MLB player prop spreads, all of that, you name it. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.